This is the honest and the ultimate camera comparison video of Nothing Phone 3 versus iPhone 16. I think a lot of people would like to see a comparison between these two phones. They both compete with each other because of the price point. You have a dual camera system on iPhone 16, and we got triple camera setup on Nothing Phone 3, all 50 megapixel sensors. I think that's it for a quick audio test. Let the battle begin.
You ain't never seen nothing like this.
On the widest field of view, which is 1x, you will see that Nothing Phone 3 is brighter and more contrasty than the iPhone, while the colors are a bit toned down and muted on iPhone 16. You will see it's natural looking, but this is a matter of personal choice. The field of view on Nothing Phone 3 is slightly wider than the iPhone, and you have a warmer look on the new Nothing flagship. On 2x, same tendency as 1x, you have a brighter image on Nothing Phone 3, and when I'm zooming in on these photos, we may have better details on Nothing Phone 3. Just because the skin tone is brighter than iPhone 16, you will still see blemishes on it, while it's equally sharp on iPhone 16. Again, natural looking tone, and the white balance is neutral.
Stop me now, I show up. I'm on fire, flames going high.
Now on portrait zoom, this is where Nothing Phone wins this comparison. We don't have 3x or past 2x on iPhone 16. We have 3x and 4x on Nothing Phone 3. So if you need that zoom portrait with that nice background blur, Nothing Phone 3 is a better phone.
New era. Stepping into the new era. Say goodbye to the old era. Say hello to the trendsetter.
Checking the field of view quickly, we have 4 on Nothing Phone 3 and we only have 2 on iPhone 16.
Say hello to the trendsetter.
On the selfie, again, same tendency. You have a warmer colors on Nothing Phone 3 and natural looking on iPhone 16. I like the details on Nothing Phone 3 because of the 50 megapixel sensor. It is sharper and has more details.
I put it like gold. Check out the view.
Alright, so this is the cinematic vlogging using iPhone 16 and Nothing Phone 3. Flagship versus flagship. I think in terms of video features, iPhone 16 wins this category. We don't have cinematic video on Nothing Phone 3, we just have a regular video. So I know a lot of content creators are using phones right now to do vlogging and even video creation on YouTube or even other social media platforms. So cinematic blur is really good if you have it on your phone, especially if you have a flagship phone like Nothing Phone 3. I find that the features on Nothing Phone 3 is pretty basic, from the photo, video, slow motion, and even expert. This is a good addition for them in terms of camera features if they want to step up their game in the camera department. I think that's it for the cinematic vlogging test. Now let's check the image quality.
Checking the daylight images, starting with the ultra-wide, we got a warmer looking Nothing Phone 3 compared to iPhone 16. I know iPhone 16 is always warmer than Pixel and Samsung, so imagine Nothing Phone is warmer than the iPhone. We really have good details on Nothing Phone 3 if you zoom in on this image. Also, Nothing Phone 3 exposes the shadows better.
All of this looks like gold.
On the main sensor test, we got a wider field of view on Nothing Phone 3. It's a bit punchy on iPhone 16. The colors are more vivid on Nothing Phone 3, while you have a natural looking tone on iPhone 16. In terms of details, they're almost the same because they almost have the same megapixel. Again, Nothing Phone 3 just offers brighter and better exposed image than the competition.
Are you seeing clear? Are you seeing clear? All the colors.
Now, battle of 3x optical versus 2x digital, we got a really good image on iPhone 16. It has a sharp and detailed images, but you got a softer, more natural looking Nothing Phone 3. I prefer the photos coming out of Nothing Phone 3. Looks more natural than the competition. On the farther zoom, we got 60x on Nothing Phone 3, and it's more details when cropping in.
I like where this is going. Turning heads, turning heads. I like where this is going. Make you look twice, make you look twice.
Both offers macro shot, but since Phone 3 is using 3x, it has better background blur.
What a touch, what a touch, what a touch turns to gold.
Now this is the outdoor video test. 4K 60 FPS, we're shooting on the highest frame rate and resolution on both phones. Starting with the selfie video recording, we got a warmer looking iPhone 16 versus natural looking and also darker on Nothing Phone 3. A bit muted in terms of colors. Let's check the autofocus. Look at the colors on the grass on iPhone 16 versus Nothing Phone 3. Nothing Phone 3 is not so bad, natural looking, but we got a nicer, warmer looking iPhone 16. Again, this is the vlogging test with human subject in frame. Let's check the video stabilization. Alright, let's check the rear cameras. Rear cameras 4K 30 FPS using the ultra wide. In terms of the colors and the details, the shadows are better exposed on iPhone 16 compared to Nothing Phone 3. We also have a wider field of view on iPhone 16 compared to Nothing Phone 3, and the colors are popping out a bit more on iPhone 16, looking at the sky and the grass. Also warmer, I think. Yep, warmer. Look at my hand. Let's check the autofocus. And this is the vlogging test if you want to see human subject in frame. Again, 4K 30 FPS iPhone 16 versus Nothing Phone 3. Let's check the video stabilization. Now switching to the main sensor. So again, the colors are popping out a bit more on iPhone 16 versus a natural looking Nothing Phone 3. There's nothing wrong with the colors though, Nothing Phone 3. Both are really nice, so it depends, again, personal taste. Let's check the autofocus. Again, you will see that my hands are warmer on iPhone 16 compared to Nothing Phone 3. And the background blur are almost the same. Again, vlogging test. Check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3, iPhone 16 versus Nothing Phone 3. And let's check the video stabilization. Now, in terms of zoom, we got 3x 50 megapixel optical on Nothing Phone 3. And we have a lossless crop on iPhone 16. So this is 3x. Video quality. Again, you would see artifacts on iPhone 16. Really good on Nothing Phone 3 because of the dedicated optical zoom. And going for the farther zoom, 18x on Nothing Phone 3 versus only 6x. So 3 times in terms of the farther zoom for Nothing Phone 3. Switching back to the ultra wide, which phone do you think is better?
Starting with the ultra-wide on night shot test, we got a brighter and better exposed image on Nothing Phone 3. Although it's a bit softer compared to iPhone 16, iPhone 16 is definitely warmer than the competition. On pitch black condition, we got better exposed image on iPhone 16. On the main sensor test, both looks really good, but you got better exposure on iPhone 16 and probably more details too. On pitch black condition, almost the same look, just a difference on the white balance, cooler on Nothing Phone 3. Using the optical zoom on Nothing Phone 3, you got a slower shutter speed, but if you nail that perfect shot, you got better colors and sharper than iPhone competition. And although darker on 3x, you still have really good night shots on all the sensors.
Now we're testing the low light video using the selfie camera on both phones. Starting with the selfie video recording 4K 30 FPS. We can also shoot 60 FPS on both phones. In terms of the hardware, 12 megapixel sensor on iPhone 16 versus 50 megapixel sensor on Nothing Phone 3. Video quality wise, we got a smoother, warmer, and brighter video on iPhone 16 versus more detailed and contrasty, stronger look on Nothing Phone 3. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now this is the rear camera test, starting with the ultra wide lens, 4K 30 FPS. So we got 0.5x wider on iPhone 16 versus 0.6x on Nothing Phone 3. In terms of the specs, we got 12 megapixel sensor on iPhone 16 versus 50 megapixel again. We got 50 megapixel sensor across all the sensors on Nothing Phone 3. We also have that blinking red light to indicate that you're recording video on Nothing Phone 3. In terms of the quality, we got a smoother iPhone 16 versus more detailed Nothing Phone 3 looking at the floors. I think that's it for the ultra wide. Now let's check the main sensor. Alright, battle of the main sensor again, 4K 30 FPS. We can shoot 60 FPS on both phones. So in terms of the specs, we got 50 megapixel sensor on Nothing Phone 3 versus 48 megapixel sensor
on iPhone 16. This is 1 over 1.56 inch sensor on iPhone and 1 over 1.3 inch sensor on Nothing Phone 3. So we get a brighter video looking at Nothing Phone 3, but we have a warmer looking and I think color accurate iPhone 16. I think that's it for the main sensor test. Now let's check the zoom. And lastly, this is the battle of the zoom. So we got 3 times optical zoom on Nothing Phone 3 versus digital crop on iPhone 16. In terms of video quality, iPhone 16 is not so bad, but we got better optical zoom on Nothing Phone 3. I think that's it for the low light video test. Now let's check the video resolution.
And lastly, the video quality test. This is Nothing Phone 3 in 4K 60 FPS. And we also have iPhone 16 in 4K 60 FPS all throughout the sensors for both phones. Which phone do you think is better? iPhone 16, the cheaper iPhone 16, or the more costly Nothing Phone 3? Leave your comment down below, and as always, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.